Blanche Carter was born on the 18th of May in 1927, although her tombstone displays her birth year as 1930 after she and her brother switched birthdays to delay him from being drafted. She was an extremely hardworking woman and important figure of the Auburn community. She was born into a sharecropping family in Waverly, Alabama. Sharecropping usually consists of a white landowner who owns a plot of land and a black family that farms it in return for a share of the yield. This process kept black people from owning their own land and having power. Sharecroppers might have had the chance to work land for themselves, but they still stayed dependent upon the white landowners or fell into debt to merchants. Blanche's mother came to have her own piece of land to rent and to raise her children on. Blanche's life was hard, but she had to work even harder as a black woman to achieve the goals white people gained easily. She graduated from high school in Lafayette, Alabama. This was incredibly significant. Blanche valued education and family over all else. After high school, she moved to Columbus, Georgia, and then to Auburn, where she married Dardell Carter. After Blanche and Dardell were married, the couple went on to have 6 children. Their children's names were Linda, Dwayne, Dardell Jr., Alfonso, Beverly, and Shirley. Raising children in the segregated South was incredibly difficult for black families, and Blanche's was no exception. Even recreational activities were hard to accomplish. For example, what is now Five Guys in downtown Auburn used to be called Tiger Theaters. At one point, she and her family were barred from entering the Tiger Theaters for no reason other than their race. She and her husband worked excruciating hours and odd jobs. Blanche worked many domestic jobs, most likely as a housemaid or cook, but those were unstable and paid poorly. Unfortunately, a few years after their last child, her husband passed away after battling terminal illness. This left Blanche Carter as a single mother of 6 children in the Deep South. In the 1950s and 60s in the Deep South, Blanche, a black woman, had to earn enough income to provide for her 6 children as a single mother. To make a living, she began working as a servant. This was a common enough job for a black woman at the time, but was also extremely unstable in terms of income. It's important to point out, much like sharecropping, black people were held from power in the workplace as well. Oftentimes, especially in the South, the black community as a whole was denied well-paying jobs, which still have repercussions today. Despite the adversity and discrimination, Blanche incorporated family values from her childhood into her household. She heavily emphasized fighting for education and equality and was involved in the community. She also emphasized maintaining their Christian faith, but she didn't stop there. Blanche wanted good childhoods for all the children in Auburn. Blanche founded the Auburn Housing Authority Tenant Council after Dardell died, in her limited free time. The council aimed to help earn equal housing opportunities for the African American community in Auburn. Additionally, she helped volunteer for the community basketball games to support Auburn's black youth. Blanche was also very religious, and she was highly involved in her church, Lee Chapel Church. She went to church every Sunday with her kids and kept her faith strong. Blanche went to almost every single city council meeting to fight for black housing in the Drake apartments and to gain equal housing for all. She also fought to increase the quality of black education in Auburn at what was then Drake High School and what is now Drake Middle School. Blanche's dream job was to become a nurse. Unfortunately, she couldn't achieve her dream because of the discrimination and hardships of the time. She instead focused on helping the next generation be able to achieve their dreams, and that is an incredible sacrifice to make. Blanche Carter deserves to be remembered. Ultimately, Blanche Carter gave up her dream job to help the black community fight for equal rights and education. In doing so, she not only contributed to the upbringing of black children, but she also taught the children to have manners and civility, even in the face of discrimination and hardships. She was a foundational member of the black community who fought for equal housing opportunities and safe, fun, happy childhoods for all black children in Auburn.